And what, let's call it mistakes, did you think you make because you were still adapting to life in Canada?
Every time that I have a chance to speak to prospect students that are interested in moving to Canada or to coming to Canada to study here, I always tell them, listen, we need to understand the culture. Canada has a different culture. And one of the biggest mistakes that we do as Latins is coming with the Latin American culture and trying to live the culture or trying to make people adapt to our culture. And that's a big mistake because we're in Canada. What we need to do in Canada, a country that is welcoming and is allowing us to live here, is to adapt to the Canadian culture, not the other way around. So, for example, in Colombia, like people, like in many other places in Latin America, being punctual means arriving 15 or half an hour later of the time, right? In Canada, being punctual is arriving 15 minutes earlier, right? So obviously, I was used to the ways of doing things in Colombia. I had an appointment at 10 a.m. I was showing up at 10:15, 10:30. What's the big deal? Why is everyone upset? And obviously, that was the Latin way to do things, right? Also, another one is in Canada. In Canada, people believe in people, and that's something really important that we and that happens still. No, like in Canada, you say something and your word has value. So when I came to Canada, it's like my word doesn't have value. Whatever I say, I don't care. Like I can change my mind tomorrow, and I really don't care. Then I realized for most Canadians, not necessarily 100% of the time, because obviously not everyone thinks the same way, but overall speaking, in the Canadian culture, when you say something, people believe. They believe in you, and your word has value. Like back in the days that people used to do a deal just by shaking hands because they believe. I believe in what you're telling me. So those are examples of the negative things that I brought from the Latin culture here and wanted people to adapt. Or I'll give you another one. This is a little bit funny. Obviously, this is our Latin blood of let's do a party and let's party and be very loud. Like no respect for people. So if I'm having a party in my house and if it's a condominium in a building or something, I really don't care that there's more people living there. No, it's like I'm having fun and music until, I don't know, 2, 3 in the morning, super loud. Then I realized, no, in Canada, it's not like that. There are rules, and you cannot make this kind of parties or this kind of noise after 11 p.m. by law, or then they can call the police on you, etc. I learned all those things, obviously.
It's funny also that here in Canada, parties usually have a time to begin and to end, right? It's not so common in many other parts of the world, but here, okay, you're invited to our party from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, of course, right? 9:45, okay, guys, in 15 minutes, you should be out of here. Never in Colombia.
No.
Bernardo, I'm sure there were good traits that you brought with you too. So what advantages did you think you had when you came and started your business?
And talking about immigrant, but also a Latino immigrant, is we are very warm people. And this is something that Canadians appreciate because Canadians are usually cold. So obviously at the beginning, you need to understand, and this is an advice, if new immigrants are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, obviously I'm not saying just come and be really warm with people and hug people and give kisses to everyone because you can be in trouble. No, I'm not saying that, but people in general, they appreciate that we are really warm. So once a Canadian gets to know us as a Latinos, they understand why we are so warm and they like it. They appreciate it and they want to imitate it. So in many environments, I've been exposed where, for me, is common. Obviously, I'm very respectful and try to be very respectful always. I'm not gonna hug someone if I don't know the person, or if I know the person is uncomfortable hugging people. But overall speaking, giving a hug or sometimes being a little bit more friendly and more relaxed, right, in the introductions with people, etc., that is easy to break the ice many times, etc., etc. So I think this is one of the things that we bring here.